Have you ever watched a show and felt unsettled, but couldn't quite put your finger on why? That's exactly what Severance does. It doesn't rely on jump scares or dystopian chaos. Instead, it uses space, geometry, color, and repetition as a character on its own right. Hi, I'm Maria, founder of Bogota Architecture and Design. Welcome to the channel, where we explore how the spaces around us shape our minds, our stories, and our lives. Architectural designer, I couldn't help but analyze Severance through my own lens. What I found is an architectural language crafted to manipulate the psyche, blur identity, and ultimately control. Today, let's dissect the secret architecture of Lumon Industries. Let's start with the office itself, an unintentionally dull, maze-like space. Designed by Jeremy Hindle, the set was built as a real labyrinth with no ceilings, so the camera could follow characters endlessly through its corridors. But this goes deeper than just set design. In architecture, labyrinths have always symbolized a loss of control, dating all the way back to ancient Crete. In environmental psychology, repetitive and disorienting circulation is linked to cognitive fatigue and compliance. That's not ancient. This layout mimics the psychological pressure cooker of surveillance and monotony. In fact, studies at Cornell have shown that spatial disorientation in workspace environments increases stress and diminishes our sense of autonomy. So when you see those endless wide hallways, you're not just watching characters get lost, you're also feeling it too. Now, let's step outside. The exterior of Lumon is actually the Bell Labs Holmet complex in New Jersey, designed by Eero Saarinen, a master of corporate monumentality. This building is brutalism, but softened, and it mirrors a key theme of Severance: authoritarianism disguised as corporate wellness. Brutalism, often linked to post-war institutions, is all about control and resilience. Concrete, symmetry, and grand gestures create a scene of awe that can quickly turn into oppression. In Severance, even the building's brutalist language whispers, "You're just a cog in something much bigger than you can comprehend." Now let's talk about the color. The office interior uses a restricted palette, mostly institutional whites and sickly greens. There's almost no contrast, no hierarchy, and that is powerful. Green is actually associated with calm and balance, but here it turns sterile. It mimics the hue of outdated hospitals in the 1960s government buildings. Its intentional nostalgia coded with evoke comfort while actually fostering complacency. And the lighting? It's never natural. Always fluorescent, harsh, clinical, constant. According to studies by the Lighting Research Center, a lack of daylight affects our circadian rhythm, our mood, and even our memory formation. This keeps Lumon employees disoriented and emotionally flat. Now, notice the scale mismatch. Massive rooms, tiny desks. It's like watching ants at terminals. The open floor plan, instead of promoting collaboration, does the opposite. It isolates. The American Psychological Association notes that spatial emptiness paired with isolation increases depersonalization, one of the core themes of the show. These desks aren't just workstations, they're confessions. Surveillance is built into the very space. Now, let's talk about the elevator. In Severance, the elevator is where transformation happens. It's a liminal space, a threshold, In architecture, thresholds are sacred. They mark transition, passage, and often rebirth. Here, the elevator is the gateway between the in and out, between submission and autonomy, between forgetting and knowing. It's quiet, controlled, symbolic of the partition self. This echoes philosopher Michael Foucault's concept of heterotopias, spaces that are other, that contain layers of meaning and contradiction. Lumon's elevator is a heterotopia of identity. Architecture is memory. It tells stories even when the people inside forget. In Severance, the architecture remembers what the characters cannot. Take the break room, a cold, punishing space used for emotional reconditioning, or the mysterious map that Helly discovers, prove that despite identical hallways, the building is deceitful in scale and logic. This weaponized architecture echoes the panopticon, a design by philosopher Jeremy Bentham, where prisoners never know if they're being watched. Lumon's halls are its modern equivalent. Severance teaches us something very important. Architecture isn't just background, it's a narrative, it's psychology, it's control. As architects and designers, we hold power. What we shape shapes people. Let's choose to design with awareness, with empathy, and with responsibility. Even when fiction goes dark, we can light the way forward. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more deep dives at the intersection of architecture, psychology, and storytelling. See you in the next one.